Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now, once again, I'm back with Tower of God. Now, it's quite simple where I'm about to go with the story. The next part of this incredible climb of the tower is the Hell Train. The Hell Train. The Train Express for D-Class regulars. Now, the special things to note about the Hell Train is as follows. The Hell Train is a construction of the workshop. Yes, the same guys who made the Archimedes, but compared to the Archimedes, this is no small trip. This is a system so big, you would have to be insane to consider it to be a ship as small as the Archimedes. The Hell Train is a D rank regular express. Now, prior to this entire crazy kickoff, we need to go to Yuri Jahad. Now, in this time for season 2, I actually purposefully cut this out from the entire arc. In the start of chapter 2, Yuri Jahad goes to the house of Princess Repelista Jahad, one of the only owners of an opera in the tower. An opera is the most powerful lighthouse in the tower. There are only 3 users of them. We know Repelista is one, and we know that one of the rulers of Jahad or lords of Jahad has another opera. The third opera user we are unsure of, and we'll find out about them as we go through the tower. So we catch into Yuri Jahad entering here, and she runs into Mashani Kun Jahad, one of the most crazy, insane, annoying, just want to kill her individuals in the tower, the owner of the Yellow Maid. When they greet Yuri as the master of the 13-month series, since she is only the second princess to hold 2 13-month weapons since Garam Jahad. She is one of the previous princesses who had 2 13-month weapons. Now, when it comes to Yuri has the Black March and the Green April. And on the other hand, Mashani has the Yellow May. So March, April, May, all 3 of them are there at that moment. I don't know if Repelista owns a 13-month weapon. We will find out about that later if she does have one. But nonetheless, Yuri ends up talking to Repelista about finding out what happened to the boy Bam on the test floor, because all they know is that he was reported dead and they didn't find his body. So she asked Repelista to find the boy, see if he is alive, find out what happened to his body. Repelista says, fine, in turn I want a favor, you need to get me a baby Zigna. And that is why Yurik was at the Zigna on the 22nd floor, what interfered with Bam's climb of the tower. Now, beyond all of this, the next thing that really kicks off a lot of these situations is what follows with exactly what Repelista tells Yuri. Repelista tells Yuri later on, just after the segment before the Hell Train saga finishes, that she's found the boy. And here's a ticket for the D-Class regular express, where she's going to get on in a certain way. As she tells her, she'll transport her on at the certain coordinates at a certain time. And on the train, she will find Bam. Now, her guide, Evan, doesn't believe it's possible. He thinks that Bam is dead. It's impossible for him to have survived. Nobody is crazy enough to lie about such a thing. And that's all that he believes in this entire story. That's what has happened. Now, at this point, we end up getting a lot more going on. Bam ends up... she ends up finding out where Bam is, and she heads on towards the Hell Train. And she's going to get on at a certain point through the Hell Train. I'm just going to leave it as that. It becomes a very important part to what goes on next. Bam is back on the 30th floor at Wagayoksong Resort, Ender Rossi, Shibisu, and the rest of them have just left because they already D-class regulars. They need Balm to catch up to them and start climbing the tower again before they can all be a team together. All of them from the second floor together as a team as one once again. Now at this point, they release Harwan from the White Heavenly Mirror, and she explains to them that there is a route for them to take up the tower, and if Balm follows this route, there's a chance he's going to meet the one he's looking for, Rachel. And Balm, being the absolute simp that he is, or the absolute idiot that he is, he ends up following Rachel again, the girl who literally almost killed him. Now, we do know that there is a possibility he would have wanted to kill her. They've taken that out of the entire equation. They've taken a lot of things out of the equation at this point, so please be very careful with what you're being told with. Now, at this point, Harwan makes something very clear. Balm is likely the biggest cheat that you'll have for your team right now. He most probably could pass any test moving up the up the tower from here on out on his own. He is that ridiculously powerful, right? So an indication that he is over the top in terms of how powerful he is. So for this reason, we're going to be splitting up the teams. Viol and the Crocodile and Harwan will go up together as a 3-man team. The rest of you can bunch together and y'all can go up the tower. We then find out that Khun and Harwan have a little conversation, and the reason for this is quite simple. Khun actually intends to kill Rachel for what she did to his team. Remember, she killed one of his members, and she injured Dan really badly by stabbing his feet the way she did. Also, she tried to kill Balm, so he still has that against her, and it's because of her that they had to go through all that craziness at the workshop battle just to get Balm back. So all of this is being played into the situation. Add it all together and you get a very dangerous, very volatile mix. Everything is continuing fine from this point, and they start their approach to the Hell Train. Khun ends up taking Wagnan's team and finding another way to get there. They find out that Hurang cannot wake up because Ilma Hurang can't wake up because Cassino took the devil that resided within him with him when he went up the tower, because he's using that power to conquer the tower and get his wish granted, to become the light for all those abandoned children inside the tower. And we find out that they need that devil from Cassino to wake up Ilma. Now, after this here, everything that happens, we end up moving through to Wagnan joining in with Khun. They form their own little unit and they intend to take down Cassino, and Khun intends to kill Rachel when he gets a chance. He sets up Novik, Ran, Shia because Shia ends up betraying Fug and joining the team with Viol in it. She ends up joining the team that they set aside. They also get 2 other regulars to join them. I'm forgetting who else it was. It was Novik, Ran, Dan, Shia. I think that's it. Those 4 were together. So that is one of the teams that's heading up the tower. They end up taking Beta with them because Beta ended up following the entire teams out of the workshop battle. I didn't explain that properly. Obviously, that's not a massive plot detail. It wasn't very important to explain that he was out there, and there was so much of confusion going on. As I said, there's plot holes all over that area. He ends up going with them and ends up going up the tower together with the team. Now, at this point, you should note a few things. Balm's been nerfed. Balm has been ridiculously nerfed as soon as we end up on the next section of this climb. Now, we already know he's crazy, ridiculously powerful, but you'll find out where he's nerfed when the next big issue happens. So Rachel ends up using Emily. And the way in which she uses Emily is she makes Emily deceive everybody by giving them information about the tournament at Train City for the boarding passes to the Hell Train. where a high level ticket will be available to be won. Now, what makes it very special is high level ticketers of the D class express are really powerful individuals. They in a class all of their own. Surrounding the D class express are two of the three most powerful regulars in D class. Kesa, Lopobia Elaine, Sachi Faker are two of those surrounding the train who are involved in the D class regulars. And the strongest D class regulars at the moment are the Jahad twins, Leela and Sheila. Right? So they, the Lopobia twins, and Princesses of Jahad, who are considered the strongest D class regulars. Okay, now following this is where things really get crazy. Bam ends up moving up to the 35th floor, 34th, 30. No, I'm making a mistake. It's quite a big climb, quite a few floors. It's 5 years. I'm really making a mistake here. I'm forgetting which floor. You board it on the 38th floor. It takes you up several floors. The 43rd floor is the floor of death. That's the 5th floor. Okay, wait. I have to reverse the train quickly so that I can get all the floors right. So the 43rd is the floor of death. 42nd is where they pick up one person. 41st, they pick up another person. 40th is the name hunt station. 39th is where they board the train. Okay, right. So 39th is where they board the train. 36th or 37th floor is where this is all happening. Train City, 37th floor. Alright, sorry about that. I was a little bit lost with my floors in the tower. So nonetheless, they all heading this way. I'm already on the D-Class Express in my reading up for the section, so I'm a little bit ahead of this. So nonetheless, everybody is heading towards Train City. And Train City is the central hub where everybody's going to get together. And how do I explain this? So Train City is going to be all of Viol's general teammates. That's Team Sweet and Sour, Novik, Ran, their team. They're going to be heading towards where Viol is. Viol is going to be heading towards Train City. So there's 3 teams from Viol that are going to be on that floor. They'll all get together, they'll fight through, and they'll win. However, Harwin tells him that he needs to learn to let go of people. He can't keep holding on to everybody because if he boards the Hell Train, he's going to lose comrades. So he needs to learn to let go. He needs to prioritize. And this is something that Bam is very, very bad at. He can't make the sacrifice call. He can't let people die. It's not in his personality. So we end up catching up to him on a train where he is with one of the famous ticketers of the D-Class Express, Boro. Boro is a former member of one of the best teams that used to ride the Hell Train. That is a team that comprised of Sachi Faker, aka Williams, Boro, Daniel Hatchet, Rowena, or Rowan. But nonetheless, they were the ones who were a consistent team on the D-Class Express every year. So nonetheless, he ends up meeting Boro and they end up making an agreement that they'll board on the train because he mentions that Fug is about to try and take over the train. And when he mentions Fug, Boro instantly jumps on because Fug has an involvement with the train. Previously, an individual named Harquin wreaked havoc on the train and he has caused a lot of trouble on the Hell Train as it goes up the floors in the past. So this is something that's important for the story. You need to keep this in mind as we move on to the next part. Now, something else to note of big importance for this entire arc is all of the key members of the team. Right, so those members from that first team that I said, they're going to be very important. Rachel has also comprised her own team. She has Bullseye Elliot, one of the mad dogs of Yama. Yet again, Payload Yama is playing a part of this here. She is being helped on her climb by Karaka. So obviously we know he's involved in this as well. Along with that on their team is Casino, Traveler, another individual named Angel. She is from one of the 10 great families. We don't know which family, but we definitely know that she was born from one of their lineages. And besides that, we also know that she has Apple, Michael, and one or two others on the hidden side of her team. So those are all the members who are involved in the team, including Ghost from the Floor of Test. So nonetheless, these are all the members who are part of her team if she ever wants them. She intends to climb up onto the D-Class Express and retrieve Hakuin to make him part of the team, so that she now has an even more powerful member. And her idea is to use them to climb up the tower faster and easier, so that she doesn't have to really worry about what comes next. So that is all the players heading up onto the Hell Train. And as you got it, there's quite a bit of chaos and mayhem. Now, one other thing that Harwin does mention before they actually reach the Hell Train, and this is well before all of this even takes shape, is that Karaka himself might appear at the Hell Train this year. So we know that Karaka is a plausible threat for the regulars at this point. He has a chance of just showing up out of nowhere and definitely causing trouble for everybody involved in this current climb. So that is one of the threats that they're facing. Now please note, I may not have enough footage at this point of what's about to happen, because this is just like a recap. In the next video you will see a ton of images and a ton of information on the climb through the Hell Train. The Hell Train is unbelievably complex, and if I were to do it in the same way that I did the workshop battle, it would be injustice to the greatest arc of Tower of God. Now, when I go through this here, I'm going to go in micro detail with what happens with the first half, the test with Hakuin. Now, the Slayer nominee competition, I'm only going to get into after we get to that point. There are several pieces that break up the section. I think the section is easily broken up into 5 parts, and that is exactly what you're going to get. So please bear with me. The next episode will have a ton more images in case you're worried about that. Yes, I have started off with the image of Balm, but starting from here, things are going to change. All the images will have to change, obviously, because the characters have changed. So catch you all in the next one, and have a good day.